Unsung heroes of acting.
Your Mammon and your Miss Mayella, it don't come to nothing, Mr. Finch.
Despite giving an astonishing performance in her film debut as Mayella Ewell in To Kill A Mockingbird, American actor Collin Wilcox Paxton never achieved the widespread recognition she so obviously deserved. Instead, this superlative actress spent the remainder of her 40-year career primarily in television and theatre, carving out a steady stream of subtle, nuanced performances, unique in their style and touching in their authenticity. Born in Cincinnati in 1935, Wilcox Paxton attended the University of Tennessee, majoring in drama. After working first with the Compass Players in Chicago, she relocated to New York City, becoming a life member of the famed Actors Studio, whose training was the core of all her work. Although her appearance in Mockingbird inexplicably didn't generate more film work, it was in television that she excelled, albeit quietly.
Angus, I just wanted to stand here for a spell and chat with you and your friend. Bet you never told Jamie about that house we was going to build.
One main feature of her work, whatever character she played, was her openness. We see inside to her very soul.
It's going to be way deep in the woods. And then we're going to find us the tallest tree where nobody can't see us or get to us or scare us. Don't you remember?
Here, in the long, hot summer, we see another side. Someone who is self-possessed and comfortable in their own skin.
Oh, of course you didn't. You used to wear little blue shorts. Every time I saw you, I went absolutely to pieces.
The delivery is light, off the cuff, unexpected.
Well, you do know I brought my Italian home with me.
I think the whole town knows about that.
Oh, he's nice. No, he's not nice. I'll take that back.
Here in The Fugitive, she is able to balance a character's kindness and vulnerability with doubt and touches of selfishness.
Where is the place for him? Do you know he was committed to an institution and ran away?
Yes, I heard that.
Well, then, why didn't you take him to the police? Why'd you bring him here?
Wanted to come home.
Do you think home is the place for him?
This is also seen in The Immortal, in which she plays a much put-upon soul trapped in a small town.
I'm grateful for what you do, but not when he has other things to do. Besides, I don't think this car of mine's going to make it up here many more times.
You know that new one is still waiting for you in that showroom in town.
As long as this one's still running, I'd rather not be obligated.
No obligation.
Sounds like one.
Throughout her work is the ability to let us see and hear her thoughts. There's a hidden story beneath the surface, a subtext and a history that needs no words. She's watchful, exuding an intensity that draws us into her world. This is very prevalent in the schlock horror film The Name of the Game is Kill.
Is that why you came back here, to find out?
No, I want to see Mickey again.
You're a fool.
As is often the case, she comes across as the strongest presence in her scenes, with those around her seeming forced by comparison.
How do you like American girls, Mr. Lipper?
Please, call me Sim.
Anything you say, Mr. Lipper.
She can also access a vulnerability deep from within and modulates this with great skill.
You can use me as your plausible alternative. If it's going to be any help to Barry, please use me.
Here, she plays a concerned mother of a troubled son and surprises the viewer with a sudden and unexpected speech about her past. It's connected and grounded in its subtlety and truthfulness.
When I was a little girl, well, that was part of the problem. I was a little girl. I suppose my father felt that God had cheated him, and so he was determined that he was going to turn that little girl into the son that he'd always wanted. I was well over 30 before I began to get over the effects of the parental forcing into molds, of telling me what I should be, what I could be. Anyway, I was going to make damn certain that didn't happen to my children.
In contrast, she could also play people who are less complicated and who are genuine open spirits in nature.
I'm Verna.
Yes, I know. My name's Mike.
My uncle, he died last year, and he left me the beer license and the mortgage. I never could figure out if that was a last act of human kindness or cruelty.
She was also blessed with a great ability to explore the uglier aspects of human nature. She played many bitter women with little or no kindness.
Guess you didn't hear me. I said the whole area's flooded out. Sorry, but sometimes the body's got to look after number one.
She shows how skilled she was at channeling an inner dialogue. We see history. We see hurt.
Why don't you write a story about how he couldn't keep a job? How he couldn't even keep his family, for that matter. Just a big shot with a gun. Oh, we had plenty of money for that cocktail waitress tramp he took up with.
In Moving On, she can readily access frustration and anger and conveys this realistically and somehow with a touch of humor as well.
That don't make no difference. If you'll just set her down like I told you to, there ain't gonna be no problem.
Annie, you're not even listening.
Annie, me like I'm one of them city women. Likely as not, I'll be tempted to go in there and get my gun and drive you off here with a load of buckshot in your
This is
britches.
not your property.
This is my property.
Hey.
While the late 70s and most of the 80s were dedicated to her true passion, the theatre, Wilcox Paxton made a return to television work in the late 80s. Her appearance in Death in Small Doses is a masterclass in underplaying and modulation. It's done without histrionics, but with compassion and truth.
You were the most beautiful baby. You were such a beautiful baby. You remember when your baby daughter was born?
She continued to demonstrate her flair for playing wise old country folk with hearts of gold and integrity.
They're her brothers. She done worn hers flat out, and George's old one's still too big for her.
Although the roles were more fleeting, she made the most of her time on screen.
The secret history of the South is hidden in blood.
Sadly, Collin Wilcox Paxton died of cancer in 2009. She was an artist dedicated to her craft, creating a complexity, depth, and history to the people she portrayed. She performed with subtlety and truthfulness, allowing the subtext to speak and the soul to sing. While she deserves so much more recognition for her amazing work, we are still blessed that we have recorded evidence of her work to remind us what a great talent and a force of nature she truly was.